Okay, we are reviewing the Nori Handheld Steam Iron. Sorry about that. The Nori Handheld Steam Iron. Nice packaging. Just discovered that. Turn the box around. Nori is also iron. Cute. This is the steam iron device itself. You can see it's nice and attractive. It's already turned on, so heat is starting to come out. One of the things I want to point out here, can you turn it over for the water chamber? Here is the water chamber where you put the water in. If you open this, that allows you to put the water in. And then you're supposed to be able to see how much is in here, but it's clear, and so is water, so you can't really tell until it starts to overflow. Okay, so all the videos that we watched indicate, or it shows people ironing while the clothing is upright like this, except for one woman who's ironing, it looks like, on her countertop. And also in the promotional and product information, it says, put away your ironing board forever. But then the very first instruction is, place the clothing on a flat surface. Well, that's what an ironing board is. So the controls on the Nori are, if you can see that, there's off and on. And then there's your fabric selector, and then your steam selector. And then to choose your fabric, you'll see it up here. So it gives you several different choices. And then this little drop here, that means we need to refill it already, and we didn't even use it this time yet. So here is what we're using to refill. Can you put it over the rug, please? By the way, if you're going to use this without the ironing board, put a rug down. Oops, sorry about that. Hold it straight. Oh, there. Now it overflowed, so we know we reached the limit. Okay. Want me to close it? Yeah, we really overflowed that baby, didn't we? Yep. All right, so now we're ready to go and start ironing, steaming. One of the things I really dislike about this is that the controls are very close to the metal plates. And it's all white on white. Okay, but if you want to change things, you're going to have to get used to it very quickly and try and memorize where everything is so that you don't find yourself getting too close to the metal plates. So here's the gray shirt that Jacob is going to demonstrate the ironing with.
It's already on for cotton. It doesn't feel like you're even grasping any fabric when you use it.
But you obviously are, because it is taking away some of the wrinkles.
Yeah, but you can see, like, at the seams, it's hard to
navigate.
Get it over there and get it flat. So here I'm not even putting it flat, I'm just using it on its side underneath.
Let's switch places over here. Okay, so try to do the, okay, you're going to try the other side. So you see, when you're using it by yourself, you have to be really careful because you have to hold the fabric or move the fabric in a certain direction with one hand while you place the steamer with the other hand, and all the while being very careful. I'm going to get an awkward angle here in a second. Sorry about that. Being very careful not to, again, get the iron plates too close to your hand. Danger. So here's the progress of the ironing so far. Now there's a lot of water spots. That's to be expected with a steamer. Right now, not seeing any real benefit to this item that cost $119 plus some change. And it's definitely more difficult to use than setting up the ironing board and using traditional iron. Okay, so this is the steaming iron. Open it again. You can see there's the iron part where you see, here, turn it over the little holes and turn it the other way. And the flat part that helps to iron the clothes. Now, by contrast, I'm going to use the steamer that I've had for years, a $20, oh, don't touch that. A $20 steamer that I've had for a number of years. So with this, I can get up there into the crevices of the shoulder. I can get over here onto the collar. I'm not being real careful. I mean, I'm being cautious about getting burnt, but about how I'm ironing. This is just to show you the difference between the two. And then I can get up there into the shoulder. I can also iron from this side, of course, and then I can iron the sleeve. You want to hold the sleeve, and so I would hold the sleeve myself if this were hanging up in my laundry room, and I would just use the steamer like that. And you see how that is indeed taking out the wrinkles here. Go up here into the shoulder again, and I can't hold the sleeve because I'm holding the camera, but I would be doing this by myself. Much quicker, much nicer. So, what do you think about it, Jacob?
I would say no. Big
Yeah.
negatory.
Okay, here,
Yeah, not worth.
$120.
Yeah.
So I'm going to return this item and stick with my $20 steamer and the traditional iron.
Hey mamas, let's talk about Christmas must-haves. Oh my gosh, this Nori iron is everything. I am the throw things in the dryer type of person. I hate ironing, but y'all, this iron is everything. This linen dress normally takes me 45 minutes. It took me 5 minutes. And my pleated skirt, I usually throw it in the dryer, but this, it took me just a couple of seconds just to get it all nice and ironed. So check out my Amazon link and get yours today.